Life as every Navy SEAL rank. It's 4:47 a.m. and someone is screaming at you about a wrinkle in your bedsheet. Not a crease, a wrinkle. The kind of moral offense that, in another life, you would have laughed at over a bowl of Lucky Charms watching SportsCenter. That life is gone. You signed the papers. You raised your hand. You told your recruiter, "Yeah, I'm ready for a challenge." He nodded slowly. He knew something you didn't. Level 1. The candidate. Buds is not what the commercials made it look like. The commercials had dramatic music and slow-motion waves. This has cold Pacific water, sand in places sand was never designed to reach, and an instructor who seems personally offended by your continued existence. You are wet, always wet. Your bones have forgotten warmth as a concept. You used to complain about the AC being too cold at your old office job. You think about that guy now. You don't recognize him. The log on your shoulder weighs 200 pounds. So does the knowledge that there's a bell 20 feet away. 3 rings and you're done. Dry clothes, hot food, a Denny's Grand Slam somewhere in Coronado like a normal American human being watching football on a Saturday. You don't ring it. You tell yourself it's willpower. It's actually stubbornness. Turns out those are the same thing, and nobody cares which one it is as long as you keep moving. Hell Week comes. Time stops being a real thing. You operate in a fog of cold and sleep deprivation so complete that you hallucinate a Little Caesars pizza on the beach. It is not there. You keep paddling. The ones who make it aren't always the biggest or the fastest. They're the ones whose relationship with discomfort quietly shifted somewhere around hour 60. Pain became information. Cold became background noise. Misery became Tuesday. You are nobody here. A wet, shivering number who cannot feel his toes. But you stay. That's the whole test. Level 2. The FNG. The fucking new guy. You get the trident. It's heavier than you expected. Not physically, though it is a solid piece of metal, but in the way people look at you when they see it. Strangers at airports buy you drinks. Your uncle, who called this throwing your life away, is now telling everyone at Thanksgiving that his nephew is a Navy SEAL. He's made it his entire personality. Then you show up to your first team. Nobody cares about your trident here. Every single person in that building has one. What they don't have yet is any reason to trust you specifically. You are the new guy, the FNG. You speak when spoken to. You show up early. You leave late. You learn the unwritten rules faster than the written ones because the written ones don't actually run anything. The written rules are decoration. The invisible ones are load-bearing. Your first deployment hits like a wall. You are 23 years old, moving through an environment that doesn't show up on Google Maps, eating an MRE that claims to be chicken fajita and is lying about it. You eat it anyway. You tell yourself it's not bad. It is bad. But the brotherhood is real. These men would drag you through fire. You would return the favor without thinking. You share everything. Gear, inside jokes, a collective irrational hatred of whoever scheduled the 0300 briefing 3 days in a row. You are changing. You don't see it yet. Level 3. The qualified operator. Pre-mission nerves feel like caffeine now. Useful, manageable, something to channel into precision rather than panic. You've been downrange enough times that your hands stay steady when other things aren't. That's not bravado. It's just repetition turning into muscle memory, turning into identity. You know the rules of this world now. Never be the one complaining loudest. Suffer quietly and competently. Do the thing nobody wants to do before anyone has to ask. These are the invisible codes. The currency of respect here isn't rank, it's reliability. Guys newer than you ask questions with their eyes. You answer with your posture. Stateside, you move through civilian life like you're operating in a foreign country. Your friends from college are in a group chat arguing about cryptocurrency and fantasy football. You just got back from somewhere you cannot name, doing something you cannot describe, making decisions that don't have a right answer, only a least wrong one. You say you're good. They say great. Nobody pushes further. That distance used to bother you. Now you just accept it as part of the cost of admission. You file it, you move on. Level 4. The team leader. You are now responsible for men, not just missions. There's a difference. A mission has a clear objective. Men have bad days, hidden injuries, complicated marriages, and egos that require more careful management than most foreign diplomatic relationships. 6 guys look to you before they look anywhere else. That weight settles onto your shoulders so gradually you almost don't notice it, until the moment a call goes wrong and you're the one who has to account for every second of the timeline. You've lost someone by now, not in the abstract speech at a podium way, in the specific way. A guy who laughed too loud and always had Skittles in his cargo pocket. Gone. and the world kept spinning the next morning, which is the part nobody prepares you for. You don't talk about it. Not because you can't, because there aren't words that do it justice, and the wrong words feel like a betrayal. Back home, you grill burgers on a Tuesday, and your neighbor waves and asks how things are going. Pretty good, you say. He talks about his HOA dispute for 6 minutes. You listen. You are fully present and completely somewhere else simultaneously. This is a skill now. You didn't ask for it.
Level 5. The Troop Chief. The men don't just respect you now, they study you. The way you walk into a room, whether you seem rattled, how long you take before you speak. You are the institutional compass. When things go sideways, and things go sideways, everyone checks your face before they decide how to feel. You keep your face controlled. That's not coldness, that's leadership. You are now fluent in a second language, military bureaucracy. You know which regulations are structural and which ones are purely decorative. You know how to move things through a system that was not designed to move quickly. You have watched officers rotate in and out with strong opinions about tactics they absorbed from graduate school. You respect them. You also redirect them, gently, professionally, and with just enough plausible deniability that everyone saves face. This is delicate. You are simultaneously subordinate and essential. Your family has built systems around your absence the way cities build drainage systems around floods. Functional, adaptive, quietly exhausted. Your kids are resilient. You tell yourself that's a good thing. Most days you believe it. Level 6. The Officer, Platoon Commander. You carry a different kind of weight now. The enlisted men watch whether you can lead. The brass watches whether you can manage. You are caught between those two pressures daily, and the job is to make it look effortless from both directions. Your decisions don't just affect outcomes, they affect careers, families, and sometimes whether people come home. That is not a metaphor. You sit with that knowledge at 0200 when the base is quiet and the planning room smells like old coffee and dry erase markers. You've watched enough young guys cycle through to understand the pattern, the hunger coming in, the gradual calcification of something soft into something harder and more functional. You were that guy. You remember what you thought this would feel like. It feels different. The mission still matters. It always matters. But you understand now that the mission is also the men. The two things are not separate. Level 7. The Squadron Commander. Your name carries operational weight before you walk into a room. You are shaping doctrine. Programs that operators will execute in 5 years are being architected right now in meetings you're running. Strategy is no longer something that happens above you. You are part of where it comes from. The visibility is total. Every decision gets scrutinized upward and downward simultaneously. You chose this. You remind yourself of that when the bureaucracy grinds against the mission, and you have to spend 3 hours in a PowerPoint briefing that could have been a 2-paragraph email. You look at the junior guys running drills outside the window, and something complicated moves through you. Pride, distance, recognition. You were that. This is the cost of becoming this. Level 8. The Silent Architect. Your name moves through the community like a rumor. There are stories about you, some accurate, most expanded into something approaching mythology by the time they travel 6 degrees through the teams. You don't correct them. The legend serves a function. Let it work. You operate at altitudes where wars are discussed in terms of decades, not deployments. The men executing the missions don't know your name. The people who shape those missions do. That's the distinction that defines this level. You are not on the field. You are part of the reason the field exists. The power is real. So is the quiet. You sit in a moment of rare stillness, deliberate, protected, and take stock. The cold water, the bell you didn't ring, the log, the guy who hallucinated a pizza on a beach in Coronado and kept paddling anyway. He's still inside you somewhere. You're not entirely sure you recognize him through everything that came after. You don't try to finish the calculation of what you gave and what you got. The math is too complicated, and the variables are too human. Somewhere on a base right now, a candidate is filling out his paperwork. He watched the commercials. He told his recruiter he was ready. He has no idea what ready actually means. In 4 days, he's going to be cold, wet, and questioning every decision that led him to this specific beach. He thinks this is a test of strength. It's a test of what he does when strength isn't enough. He'll find out. The bell is already waiting.